eat it. I'll still do it.
Gamble with your life. If you didn't know.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Having Juice with OJ. I am here with my co-host.
What's up, everybody? It's Jerm.
Yo, so today we are going to talk about what just recently started, which is training camp. Obviously, there's already been some injuries, and there's only been some teams who've went there, but you already know there's always rumors. So, Jerm, how you feel about training camp so far?
Ecstatic. There's only, I'd say 8 more Sundays until NFL season starts, give or take.
Eight sounds right.
It's been a long off season. I know I speak for a lot of people when I say we can't wait. We're excited. We've taken these past 2-3 days of training camp and have just soaked everything in. And I'm excited to get into it.
And right away, one thing happened everybody's talking about. I mean, the video was out there. It looked pretty damn bad. Joe Burr with a non-contact injury. That's always scary. But after I watched the video, I feel like Twitter was going like OD about it for a second. It was like when I looked at the video, he wasn't like jerking. That's why I knew it wasn't a knee injury right away. Hopefully still something doesn't
he wasn't planting.
Yeah, he wasn't like trying to make a move. It was just him going around the side, and it felt like a little like strain. So it seems like a calf strain, so it should be fine. But anything else in training camp you feel?
Yeah, so on top of the Burrow stuff, so it did come out that it wasn't anything too serious. It was more of a calf injury, so just pay attention to that a little bit. But when you hear that a player of his magnitude is being carted off the field, like one of the first days of training camp, it creates a big scare. Another big-time player down in Miami, Jalen Ramsey. He's going to have to get meniscus surgery. He's going to be out probably until early December.
6 to 8 weeks, I would have to assume. So half the season you're talking about.
And this is a guy that Miami just acquired from LA and who is still in the prime of his career, is still a top 10, a top 5 cornerback in the league.
I was excited to see him in that uniform, Jeremy. When I was seeing all the pictures of him in the uniform, he already looked clean.
Not just that, but playing in the AFC East where he would have to match up against Garrett Wilson twice a year, Stephon Diggs twice a year, and Bill Belichick's offense twice a year. I was very excited to see what he would have been able to do. But, a speedy recovery to Jalen Ramsey. We hope the best for him.
100%.
But that's really been the injuries so far, the big-time injuries.
And this episode comes out a couple days later, of course. But right now it's only a couple days in, basically. And we're seeing 2 major hits on 2 major players who Joe Burr was looking to get his big contract, get paid probably the highest out of any NFL player right now. So I hope this doesn't affect it because now they're like, oh, well, now we got to be cautious. We don't want to run right into this. But you know what even is crazier is Patrick Mahomes isn't even close to a top 5 paid player in the league right now. I'm pretty sure he's sitting around 8 with the QBs right now. Yeah, too. That they went crazy in the beginning. Like when they made that contract, they got so lucky.
But I think with Mahomes' contract, the way it was structured, he was just making an insane amount of money, though.
He was back in the day.
Is it more guaranteed, or I have no idea?
Because
I know he got like close to $500 million. He got like $500 million over 10 years or something like that.
Here we go. We got his contract. Under the terms of the contract, $63 million was fully guaranteed at the signing, and Mahomes received $10 million signing bonus. He was sitting at a total of $477 million can be guaranteed over the life of the deal. That's not that high anymore compared to Herbert getting that 5-year, $262 million.
It's the longevity, though. I think that it locks Patrick into Kansas City. Patrick wants to be there. He wants to continue building that dynasty with the Chiefs. He wants to retire there eventually. And, giving them that 10-year contract versus the 5-year, I don't know. I feel like it could end up being more valuable down the line. They could end up adding more money or more incentives.
You know how contracts work, bro. How over time, the amount of money that's getting pushed into the NFL, it only just means that more money is going to be able to be given out to these players in the contracts. And even in the NBA and such, even in MLB, they're getting higher higher, higher, higher. I remember when he first got that contract with the Chiefs, I was like, yeah, it makes sense because obviously lock him in for as long as you can. He's going, in my head, going to be the greatest player of all time.
No doubt.
And yeah, like it makes sense to lock him in, but in terms of him getting his money, like he's just a loyal guy. That's how I feel about him. He's a loyal guy. It makes sense why he would do a 10-year contract, but in terms of where money's going and how much more money is just like moving up and up and up in these like big professional sports, I think if he would have done a 5-year deal, he would have came back. Think about how much money he would make if he only did a 5-year contract with how much he's accomplished.
Well, yeah, isn't that how front offices also get around to, stretching out the contracts and trying
it's
to
like Aaron Judge, what's going to happen with Aaron Judge, what's probably going to happen with Shohei.
And even what just happened with Aaron.
Yeah.
He took the pay cut or whatever, but, they just restructured contracts and stuff like that all the time. So
it's crazy.
It's weird how when you break it down like that, like Justin Herbert, Jalen Hurts, and Joe Burrow is probably gonna end up being paid more.
Yeah.
But I feel like lifetime, I think Mahomes is still gonna have more earnings, and they're gonna give him more incentives.
It's like it's gonna be like Steph Curry where he's basically Billy. He got a Billy.
And it's also interesting too because when did Mahomes sign that contract?
That was back in when?
Because it might have been before the NFL did their new TV negotiations.
Was that like 2021 or 20?
It was the NFL.
Like
the new TV deal was around 2021. They signed $110 billion over 11 years.
2020, I think it was.
So that might be another factor into why it isn't higher than we would have thought.
Yeah,
because once that new TV deal kicks in, it's like a lot more money is going in.
Yeah, for sure. That makes sense. And then moving on, I mean, you just brought up the Jets. It feels weird even talking about the Jets in general because the Jets have been irrelevant for, I'm pretty sure, our entire life.
It's 2010.
Yeah.
Was the last time they were in the playoffs.
Yeah, so like they've been irrelevant our entire life. Let's put it that way. And now we're talking about it with one of the greatest of all times, who I call, AKA Mini GOAT. Like I call him the Mini GOAT, Aaron Rodgers, of course. And he's playing with a pretty young squad. Not something that I expected from him, honestly. Of course, Jets was always a destination spot for him, but in my head, I thought he was going to go more veteran-wise. But I mean, it kind of makes sense. Like he has a youthfulness about him, I guess, with the ayahuasca and all that. It must have done something to him.
Yeah.
It made his brain younger. Yeah, exactly. But how do we feel about the Hard Knocks basically just saying, yeah, like you have no choice? That's how it felt. Like you just moved and did this huge move and you're one of the greatest of all times. Like we're going to make it about you, period.
And also think about it. It's New York. Who doesn't want to see
in New York?
These streets will make you feel bad.
Exactly.
It's just like it's a big market. It's a team that has a lot of buzz around them. You got people saying that they're a pencil in for the Super Bowl or the AFC Championship at minimum. So it's like, why wouldn't Hard Knocks take advantage of that and showcase them? Me personally, I would have.
That really is crazy though, because they were 7-10 last year.
They were, and and Vegas only has them for 8 wins this year.
That's what I'm saying.
So you're telling me they're gonna add the most talented quarterback of all time
and only get one win
better?
That's kind of sad if that is true.
That's crazy. But what I was gonna say,
slam that over in my head.
What I was gonna say is, I would have definitely liked to see like the Bengals or the Dolphins as one of the teams on Hard Knocks, because I just think what they got going on, I like seeing the behind the scenes with that. Like when the Bills did it a couple years ago, like it got me really into the Bills and behind Josh Allen and what they were doing there.
Yeah.
So that would be really cool for the casual fan to see like how those organizations have really turned themselves over the past couple years and become top contenders in their divisions.
Yeah, I mean, of course, I'm excited to see this Hard Knocks. Like I didn't really enjoy the Colts like that much, and like
the Lions was a good one.
The Lions was solid.
The Lions was a good one.
But
Cardinals wasn't.
Cardinals, nah. Like it's weird. It's weird to me how they choose these teams and why. I feel like it's also a lot of times the teams turn it down. In my head, I feel like you don't want that noise, you don't want that distraction, and I'm gonna bring that to the new Netflix series Quarterback. I mean, if you haven't seen it, go check it out. You got Mahomes, Cousins, and Mariota all in that. But what I found out from a press interview with Jalen Hurts was that he's turned it down twice. Yeah, no, for sure. I mean, I definitely think, yeah, she was a huge part of the whole thing in general. I mean, I feel like we barely saw Kirk Cousins' wife.
Like, no, because we did see her. We saw Cousins' wife and Mariota's wife, but we didn't see them as much as Brittany. Like,
yeah. Well, it might have also been because like Mahomes made it farther.
Did go to the Super Bowl.
You
but
know,
they did. Like, they stopped doing the. I don't want to spoil it for the people that didn't watch it, but I mean, it does follow the season. So if you did keep up with the season, you know how the quarterbacks, you know how they finished out with their years and everything. But it's honestly a great docuseries. I highly recommend it.
Definitely wish Jalen did it, but I get why he didn't. It's probably a later in your career type of thing, I guess. I mean, unless you're the greatest of all time. And then to move on, I mean, the Vikings, they got rid of Dalvin Cook, and now Dalvin Cook is nowhere in the middle of training camp, and apparently he's in great shape. I mean, what else do you expect people to say about somebody who's not in training camp, who's a top 10 running back, in my opinion? Where do we see him going? I mean, there's Jets talk, but, like, where else?
It's been Jets, Dolphins all offseason. You know, he's taking the visit with the Jets. The Jets are expected to sign him, you know, barring any setbacks. So, I mean, I guess we could pencil him in as a New York Jet, but, you know, it was my understanding, you know, he's from Florida, played at Florida State, wants to be in Miami. Yeah. That's a top contending team. That would really help Tua out a lot in the backfield, you know, not have to take a lot of those hits sometimes. But, you know, aside from those two teams, I have New England.
I mean, yeah. I feel like he just doesn't fit the culture. I don't know why. Just whenever I have seen a New England running back, it doesn't seem like Dalvin to me. But on top of Dalvin, the Vikings now are sitting with Alexander Madison, and people sleep on that man. I mean, I always said it. He's a minier version of Dalvin, and he doesn't have the injury past. And that is a big thing with running backs. That's why running backs are getting disposed throughout the league and not getting the contracts they deserve, is literally because at any given moment, even if you're not in the play, you're probably gonna get hit or touched, or like it's gonna be hard to get around getting hurt. And the life expectancy of a running back has diminished. How do we feel about the whole running back situations, the Zoom call that they all had together? Like, how do we feel about that?
Real quick, too, another team I would like to see Dalvin go to is Tampa. I feel like he could do some damage.
Gonna be trash this year,
I wouldn't put it past Tampa
Baker?
to compete. You know, Mike Evans and Chris Godwin, they compete. They're great players.
I guess we'll see.
You know, yeah, with this whole running back fiasco, you know, Saquon just recently signed his deal, got 1 year, $11 million guaranteed, and I put it in perspective. David Montgomery and Miles Sanders both got $11 million guaranteed this offseason as well. And they got multiple year deals with their new teams. Josh Jacobs is not at training camp right now. He's withholding. He wants to get a new deal done. Austin Eckler has been very vocal about his situation, about the running backs not being paid their worth. You know, and over time, you know, the frustrations grew, and all the running backs have gotten together and they've discussed, you know, how they're going to approach the situation. It's under my understanding that they had a Zoom call and they, you know, discussed some things. And not shortly after, Saquon did sign his deal, but
there must have been something going on there, like they're talking strike or something.
They had to have been, because, you know, when you talk about sitting out an entire year, and, you know, we were watching ESPN earlier. I forgot that one group that we were watching, but and
Good Morning Football or something.
Yeah, GMFB, and Colin were just saying about, you know, the amount of talent that these players have that they can showcase, whether they're on a deal or not on a deal, it goes a lot further for them than just withholding. So, you know, I'm happy for Saquon that he did decide that he's going to sign a deal, but I'm just frustrated that running backs are being, you know, kind of treated like this, because Jim Irsay came out and said that he basically agreed that, you know, running backs are a devalued position, and basically whenever they touch the ball, they're going to depreciate. Jonathan Taylor's up for contract extension this year. So what's going to happen with that? You know, he's the best player on their team.
And he's looked at as, like, nothing right now. I feel like after his season last year, everyone was like, all right, never mind. He's not that good anymore.
He was playing on an injured ankle all year.
The whole year. I feel like people just people are willing to switch sides very quickly, especially if the media puts you that way. I mean, we might put people that way sometimes too, but that's what we do. And then on top of talking about running backs, there's a new one in the league who I'm really excited about is Bijan. I think Robinson is going to come in here to the Falcons, even though he's got Desmond Ridder. I'm pretty sure that's their starting quarterback, correct? With the Falcons.
Should be.
Should be. That dude's a dog. I do not care. That dude is a dog. They came out with a video today of him cutting up this D-back who runs like a 4.242. And like cut him up with the route running. Like we'll see if we can pull it up here. You know, there's no copyright issues or anything. But we pulled it up right here. If not, go check out that video of Bijan Robinson absolutely dusting Troy Anderson.
I think I'm very excited about Bijan. I honestly, first we'll start with the Falcons offense. You know, last year they were a top rushing offense in the league, and they had Tyler Algier, a fifth-round pick who had 1,000 yards. You know, we're talking about a fifth-round pick and the 8th overall pick in the draft. You know, you put a lot more draft capital into Bijan Robinson. Bijan Robinson is arguably the greatest running back prospect of all time. He's definitely the best since Saquon. And his ability to not just run the ball, but to also route run and catch the football
too.
Is going to be elite. Him with Drake London and Kyle Pitts is going to create a 3-headed monster in Atlanta. And it honestly doesn't matter if it's Desmond Ridder or Marcus Mariota. As long as they know that they got to get the ball to their playmakers, that offense is going to they're going to be in contention for the NFC South for sure. For sure.
Okay. To move away from running backs, there's this guy who was on my tight end fantasy football team that I hated for the last 2 years of my life, was Darren Waller. Darren Waller apparently is uncoverable now that he's with the Giants, I guess. Now that he has a competent QB, will we have to put it? How do we feel about this new news?
In an offense with Brian Dable, where you know he wants to get the ball to his playmakers, and in those situations where he could get the ball to Saquon to win the game, he would always go that way. Daniel Jones has seemingly taken 3 steps forward. So as a QB who likes to operate over the middle of the field, and Darren Waller, who's, you know, very good at that, you know, operating in the middle of the field, you know, it seems like a match that's going to be very underrated for this year. And, you know, if they could keep up that chemistry.
To? Could you tell me?
What, Daniel Bellinger, Isaiah Hodgins? That's
what I'm confused about.
That wide receiver room is scarce. They do have injuries. I think, I don't know what's happening with Wan'Dale Robinson. I don't know if he's still hurt or recovering.
Yeah, I don't even know it. That's the thing. I wouldn't even know.
He was something for them. You know, Richie James, I'm not sure if he's still even on the team. But, you know, that Sterling Shepard still, like...
I'm just laughing more and more thinking about it.
It's scarce.
That's going to be rough.
But Daniel Jones and Darren Waller could be, you know, one of the top duos in the league this year.
I mean, especially if Saquon can do his thing. I'm pretty sure that they signed James Robinson, too.
Did they?
Yeah.
That's a nice signing.
Yeah, that's per sources of this guy named James Sierra that they got James Robinson. And I think that was great. When they got that, I thought that Saquon was for sure gone. I think James Robinson's an RB1. Like, I think especially in a league where you don't really count on them to be your best player anyway. I would have to say James Robinson's an RB1.
It's so that frustrates me though, because it's like when you think of these teams that are competing for titles, a lot of the times, you know, do they have, you know, elite level running backs or do they not?
I feel like they don't. I mean, think about who we just watched in the Super Bowl. I mean, Pacheco and
a rookie.
Yeah, and then 3 running backs on the other team in which they didn't sign their main RB1 back. You know what I mean? So, like, I feel like you just don't. Like, you just need, in my head, you just need somebody who can ground and pound, and you need somebody who can catch off the side and do halfback wheels. That's what, in my opinion, that's all you need. If you have a fast guy who can turn on the jets and you got a guy who can get you 3rd and inches, 3rd and 2s, then you're good. So we're going to be right back talking about all these NFL rumors and NFL news. Stay with us only at Usala Media.
Hi, I'm Lara, and here at Usala Media, we can help bring your media vision to life. Interested in podcasting? Running an ad or commercial for your business? Looking for production and studio facilities or coverage for an important community event? We can help. We pride ourselves on producing content that reflects the diversity of our Philadelphia community with the highest standards of cultural expression. Join us today and make your vision a reality.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Having Juice with OJ with yours only, Oliver and Germ.
Yeah, I wasn't going to miss my cue this time.
Can't miss it this time. And we're just going to get right back into it. Obviously, we were talking about some Darren Waller and his mishaps the past 2 years. So how you feel about him?
As well as the rest of the New York Giants.
Yeah,
And,
I guess.
First off, my apologies. I forgot, Jalen Hyatt and Paris Campbell are also some wide receivers that you guys have.
Woo.
So, congratulations on that. Oh, wait, Cole Beasley as well. Can't forget about him.
Yep.
But, hey, man, if Dable can, continue to be that coach of the year, that aggressive type of, I'm going to go out, get this ball to my playmakers, I'm going to go win this game, I'm going to read the game situation, the game environment, and I'm going to adjust, with that defense that he's been building up, that's a top blitzing defense in the league. I feel like the Giants are going to have a lot of opportunities on offense this year. And, back to what I said with Daniel Jones and Darren Waller being both players that operate up the middle of the field, Darren Waller could have a monster season.
Yeah. I could see it. I mean, DJ's good and all. I mean, I've never been a fan. Whatever.
Neither,
not at all. But I mean, he showed me some characteristics. I mean, the thing that just slumped me about him was him just tripping over his own feet in a wide open field. Like, that's what gets me. Like, I've heard fans go back and say it's because of the pads. I think he's been playing football since he came out the womb. So I would hope that he can keep the pads on top of his shoulders and not on the ground. Okay, so to keep on, because I feel like we just bullied Giants fans. Like, we lost all Giants fans from now on for sure. But all right. All right, we got it. So to get away from that monstrosity, we're gonna start talking some options with the over-unders with these team win totals. And to start off, I think is the lowest team total that there is right now, which is sitting with the Arizona Cardinals at over-under 4.5 wins in 17 games. That's insane. How do we feel about that? Because honestly, that's such a weird line. And it's actually favored for the under right now.
It's favored for the under.
Yeah.
Damn.
Isn't Colt McCoy their quarterback right now?
It's probably going to be the starting quarterback this year. I mean, they're definitely going to be a team that's in contention for Caleb Williams. Now, looking at their schedule, they play the NFC East this year. Mm-hmm. It looks like they also play the AFC North. I see Ravens and Browns here. Mm-hmm. I also see Steelers. So that means no Bengals. Interesting.
Sheesh.
Oh no, they do play the Bengals as well. Yeah, so that's two divisions that are completely better than them, plus their 100%. Entire division. So I mean,
I'm gonna have to go under.
I might have to do under with that.
I think
finding 5 wins in the schedule is gonna be really hard.
I'm gonna add up all of ours and see what the parlay looks like.
Let's do it.
The next one, because it's just so easy to move on from the Cardinals. 4.5, that's insane. Falcons, over under 8.5. That's a good line in my opinion. And right now it's definitely favored for them to have over 8.5 wins. I'm gonna have to see. That's such a good line. I think they get 9 wins.
That is a very good line, and I myself, I'm very confident that's a team that wins their division this year. So
you would say 9.
A team for 9 to be 9 and 8. I mean, it's the NFC South, so you might be able to get away with it at like 7-8-1, honestly. But
Yeah, that is very true too. But it's gonna sit around that line for sure.
yeah, but I honestly I feel confident.
I feel 9. I feel a sick 9. I do not like them as much at 10 wins. Like if this line was at 9.5, I'm not taking it. That's how I feel
agree.
about it.
They play the Falcons this year. They play the NFC North. That's gonna be the Vikings, Lions, Bears, Packers.
Oh
Those
my.
are honestly all games that are 50-50, honestly, in my opinion. You know, the Falcons can either go in there or defend home and, you know, win by field goal in any of those games. They're a team that, you know, had a lot of close games last year, and they were a team that competed, you know, and then they had that skid in the middle of the season. So
They got some new life too.
that's what I'm saying. They're going to be a team that comes out and competes.
Moving on. Lamar, man, he back. We got the Ravens sitting at over under 10.5 with people saying under is the move. That I'm not sure. How's their schedule looking, Jerm?
Pull it up real quick. And the Ravens looks like they are going to be playing the
A little bit louder for the people in the back.
It looks like they're going to be playing the AFC South. So that's the Texans, the Colts, the Jags,
Other than the Jags, I think like
and some other team I'm forgetting.
yeah.
I don't know why I'm forgetting. But besides that, the Titans. Stupid. They're also playing the NFC West. Or
Who we
yes,
looking
the
at?
NFC West. We're looking at the Niners. We're looking at the Rams. We're looking at the Seahawks and the Cardinals. So they're also in a very tough division with the Browns, the Steelers, and the Bengals. So finding
think
11 wins there, it's going to be
Finding 11
tough.
wins is going to be tough. I just have a very strong feeling about Lamar this year and Odell's energy. I'm going to go over.
Well, actually, let's think about it. I think they could sweep the AFC South. So
Yeah.
that's 4 wins right there.
Yeah.
Let's say they split with their division. That's 7.
7.
The NFC West, the only team that's really going to give them trouble is the Niners.
Yeah.
Which I'd favor the Niners. Between them and the
Definitely.
Seahawks,
It's
that's
probably like going to be a -3 to -5 favorite.
by the Seahawks, that's a give or take.
I think that they
So
can
it's another
take the
3 wins
Seahawks.
right there. So
I'm looking at over. Even though the under's favored,
Then
I like them to get 11 or 12
then we're looking
wins.
at a game against the Dolphins and a game against the Lions.
I'm
So-
taking over. I'm
You know,
liking over.
I'm leaning over. I like the
do it.
over for the
Let's
Ravens.
do it. Next
11
one.
wins is definitely doable.
Yeah. Next one, Buffalo Bills. Got over under 10.5 wins. I mean, over.
I mean, yeah, you
Like
got
there's no. I don't really like any other opinion. I don't think that they're getting only 10 wins.
you got people saying they're going to be going like 14-3 this year.
Yeah.
So it's like
And also, it's very favorite -134 and +110, which is this isn't many. There's not a lot of teams that it's a plus money for any of theirs or over unders usually, except for the main teams, obviously. So I'm going over under 10.5. I think we can keep the ball rolling after that.
yeah, they're going to be playing the AFC West and the NFC East this year. So
Yeah.
it's going to
So
be
we-
a lot of interesting games.
Let's keep it going. Let's keep it going. We're sitting with Carolina Panthers over under 7.5 wins with the over the favorite. This one,
I'm not even looking at the schedule. I'm taking the under.
let's ride.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
Let's ride. I'm sorry, Carolina Panther fans. I don't think there's a lot of them around here anyway. But I would have to honestly agree that,
You're asking for this team to be a win better than the 2022 Jets,
yeah.
and they're adding a rookie QB. Yeah, he's the first overall pick, but there's
Whatever.
a learning curve
That
in the
doesn't
NFL.
do anything.
There's a learning curve in the NFL. The offense. They got some new weapons, but I think it's gonna take
Yeah.
time for them to mesh. There's gonna be games where it's gonna cost them from those little mistakes.
Oh,
So
yeah, 100%.
I'm leaning under.
I'm with you. Keep it rolling. We're sitting with Chicago. We got Chirac Bears. We got over under 7.5 wins. We're sitting with over being the favorited at -122. This is plus money for them to go under. I have to take the over. I am feeling Justin Fields this year. Him and DJ Moore connection, I can see it working out. They added some pieces to defense. I like their defense this year. They're a gritty team. Chicago's always been known for their defense, I feel like. And I think Justin Fields comes out and has a spectacular year.
So AFC West and NFC South. The Bears are going to be playing, teams like the Chargers, Broncos, Chiefs, Raiders.
Broncos,
Saints,
Raiders, I'm not too worried about.
Saints, Falcons.
Falcons,
Their division as well with the Vikings, the Lions, and the Packers.
of
they
course.
could
They
probably
could
get
take Packers
swept.
and Lions.
They could probably get swept by two or three of those teams.
I don't know. Their defense is looking gritty.
So we gonna believe in a big step from Justin Fields, but it's at 8.5. I could see
7.5.
Oh, 7.5.
I think they can get 8 wins.
How
You
many
don't
did they
think
get
they-
last year? 5.
Last year, I have it right here. We are sitting with 3 and 14.
3?
Brother, man.
Yeah, under.
All right.
They might
I'll ride it with you, but I'll be pissed if I'm right.
They might
We'll put it that way.
They might get 7 wins this year. They might go 7-10,
We'll see. We'll see.
which honestly is a big improvement for the Bears.
We're sitting with the Bengals. They're over under at 11.5 wins, with the over being at plus 118.
So we're asking for 12 wins from the Bengals.
Yes, we're asking for 12, and they had 12 last year.
And they had 12 last year, and they started their season off terribly.
yeah, terribly. I'm going over.
Over, easy.
Yeah, I'm sitting at 13 wins for them in my head.
They're going to be playing, what is it? AFC North is going to be playing, I believe, the NFC West. Yeah, the NFC West. Oh, they go on a... No, they don't go on a West Coast.
All right,
trip.
we got to keep moving them on. Keep it moving on.
We'll keep going.
Because I believe in them that much, by the way. You guys should too. The juicers out there, I'm thinking that's the new name for them. You guys are all juicers. Cleveland Browns, over under 9.5 wins, sitting at the under 9.5, being the favorite for that. I am always confused about the Browns, guys. I'm very, very confused about the Browns. I mean, I don't know if it's where they're from. Cleveland just doesn't excite me. Like, I like the under. I like the under.
You like the under
9.5
9.5?
Yeah.
So 10
I don't
wins.
think they're getting 10.
How many wins they have last year?
We are sitting with 7.
Okay, so a couple things. I think, what is it? Kevin Stefanski, their coach.
Mm-hmm.
I think he might be in the hot seat. He might be approaching the hot seat.
I would have to agree.
Deshaun Watson, didn't play football for a long time. Came back and looked absolutely horrible.
Mm-hmm. That can change.
I don't believe he comes into this year looking horrible. You're asking for them to get 3 more wins. Kareem Hunt's not going to be in that offense anymore.
Yeah.
So that a little bit more touches for Nick Chubb. He can explode. He can.
I love Nick Chubb. I mean, I just watched a video of him squatting about 635 pounds in the rack. The squat rack was almost on the ground.
Bent, yeah.
It was almost on the ground. Did they have to get like a rubber one for that, or like is that a real metal bar? That's my question.
He might break that thing.
That's insane.
But yeah, I'm telling you that 10 wins is very doable.
You like 10?
I'm leaning over.
Okay.
I'm leaning over.
I'll sit with you on that.
That's gonna be
Why not? It's gonna be a hard one. I see them sitting between 8 to 10 wins.
8 to 10, yeah.
Dallas Cowboys over under 9.5 wins, at the over being very expected from them. I mean, their division is gonna be good this year. It's gonna be interesting. Obviously, we know where the Eagles stand. This is a hard one. How's their schedule looking? I feel like that's my main thing right now that I gotta look at.
So I see the NFC West. So
Okay.
that's games against the Niners, Rams, Seahawks. Yeah, Seahawks and Cardinals.
Okay.
I also see AFC East. So that's Bills, Dolphins, Patriots, Jets. On top of their division, on top of games against the Panthers. Panthers, Chargers. Yeah, and Panthers and Chargers are their other 2 games. So 10 wins.
That's like a pretty hard schedule. But
It's a pretty hard schedule.
But I can see him sneaking off with 10 exact. That's my issue. But we don't like the Cowgirls around here that much.
No
so
shot.
we're slamming under, boy.
Let's go.
Now we're sitting with the Denver Broncos.
Give him an 8
New guy with the guy, Russell Wilson, for sure. Russell Wilson
guy.
no longer has his QB room, his QB coach, his QB trainer. Like, he will be with the dogs on the field. Sean Payton's going to take none of that. So, with that said, with a GOAT telling them the plays and them actually like being a unit, I'm going over 8.5 wins for them.
8.5, so 9 wins for the Broncos.
Yes, I'm doing it. I'm doing it. And I do not care if people say I'm crazy because it's his first year coaching there. Sean Payton has not stepped back from football. If you guys have seen, he was always on TV on top of everything. So,
Sean Payton is him.
He's him.
Sean Payton is him. I honestly wouldn't be surprised if he goes into Arrowhead week 3 and wins. Well, that's not week 3. That's like week 6.
And they're coming from 5 wins last year,
That's like week
ladies
6,
and gentlemen. But that is a Sean Payton type of move where somehow pulls off with the miraculous. And yeah, I'm sitting over 8.5. You gonna argue with that or no?
I mean, I could argue with the Denver Broncos squad from last year, but I'm not arguing against Sean Payton.
Yeah,
you know that.
There's no way. I'm
shot.
not doing that. To move on, Detroit Lions sitting at over under 9.5 wins, with the over being the favorite. I mean,
you know, this team that went 9-8.
Huh?
They went 9-8 last year, and they won like 8 of their last 10 games or whatever it was.
Yeah, they had a stretch, where they just absolutely dogged everyone.
So,
I mean, if they come off the high horse like that, if they don't have any mishaps in the beginning of the year, can I see them having 10 wins?
they have a top offensive line. Jameson Williams comes back week 6.
No more DeAndre Swift.
And his lingering ankle injuries. You know, they got Jahmyr Gibbs coming in.
Yeah.
They got David Montgomery coming in. Amon-Ra, hopefully, you know, his ankle could stay intact this year.
Yeah, need that.
Sam Laporta, rookie, tight end.
Yeah. I mean, hey.
Dan Campbell. I'm a big believer in Dan Campbell.
I mean, if you haven't, go check out the video of him doing the workouts.
The burpees with them.
Doing the burpees with his players. I mean, that boy out there running them. He's going faster than some of the dudes.
He's the type of coach that you would run through a wall for.
Yeah,
most definitely.
Over.
We're gonna believe in him, I guess.
I'm believing. I'm a believer, even though
10 wins.
You know, in my division and such. So then the next would have to be the good guys, right? Your good guys, the Packers, sitting at over and under 7.5 wins.
Hammer the over, easy.
That's a little biased, in my opinion.
Easy.
So they've got Jordan Love, right? You got Jordan Love. You got Christian Watson coming off. He will have his second season. And how's your defense looking, man? How's it looking?
Hey, we got that rookie rusher out of Iowa, Lucas Van Ness. He's been looking very good in training camp, very explosive. Those are things that were great qualities about him at Iowa. We got that big boy, David Bakhtiari. He's going to be hopefully fully healthy this year, not any lingering knee issues or taking games off or anything. Okay. Jair Alexander is a lockdown top 3 corner in the league. Preston Smith is hurt right now, I believe, but you know, he comes back, he's going to be a force with that defense. So I think that, you know, our defense is going to take a step forward from last year. And for everybody writing Jordan Love off,
don't do that.
Yeah, there's no way you could. There's no way you could.
I can't write him off.
You can't, bro. He's been sitting and learning and absorbing from the most talented quarterback in the league for 3 years. The one game he started against the Chiefs, he lost by a touchdown, and you know he honestly could have went out there and won that game. He outplayed Patrick Mahomes in that game. Don't believe me? Go check out the stats. Go check out the video. So. And with the first 4 games being Bears, Falcons, Saints, Lions, Raiders, Broncos, you know, we could probably be like 5-1, 6-1 going into like the Vikings, our first Vikings game.
Could be. We'll see.
So
to keep moving on, because there are so many teams in the NFL.
Take the over.
I said this right before. We'll take the over. Moving on. For some of the other teams that maybe we are not so fond of, I am sorry if we move quickly, because this one is another quick one. Houston Texans over under 6.5 wins. Slam under. Keep it moving. Don't even have to talk about their schedule. I'm not doing it. Next one.
They're not there yet.
Indianapolis Colts over under 6.5. Over being favorited. This one's a tricky one because
they're a gritty team.
I like them. Last year, not successful, but again, their running back, Jonathan Taylor, it was very, very sad. They went 4-12-1 last year.
I can see. Yeah.
I'm gonna say
go over.
Yeah, I'm gonna go over. It's gonna be a good little bounce back year. JT will stay healthy.
Will be
I
healthy.
will throw that into the existence of the world.
But Anthony Richardson's going to be hopefully better than the quarterback
I love
production last year.
AR. I love AR.
Their defense
big
is
fan.
still their defense.
A lot of people are talking smack about AR, but I will not take it. There's no slander
No
around
AR
here
slander
for
over
AR.
here.
And then to just keep the ball rolling, let's keep it going. We got Jacksonville Jaguars sitting at over under 9.5 wins, with it being minus 150 for the over 9.5,
over, yeah.
which I do like. I love
figure.
the Jags this year. I am on them. Slam it. Do it with me.
Yeah.
And then we got, obviously, Kansas City Chiefs. I will take their over any day of the week. What do you think it is?
I think they're sitting at 12.5.
11.5 right
Okay,
now.
easy.
Yep.
Over.
I will take that at minus 134. There's no arguments there. Again, we're talking about one of the GOATs who ever coached, and also one of the to-be GOATs at the quarterback position, maybe even player of all time.
And one of the GOAT tight ends.
Yeah, and then exactly one of the GOAT tight ends, which is getting more and more arguable that he's better than Gronk.
Can't put him there. Can't
I
put him
know,
there
but
just yet, man.
it's an argument that's getting there. And if you're with me on that, comment below, because I am getting ready to have that conversation this year, ladies and gentlemen. I will bring it up. I thought about it last year for so long. I didn't say a word, but I'm going to have to bring it into consideration
It's
now,
his
guys.
34, 35 season. If he can go out there and replicate 85 to 90% of what he did last year, then we're in very good talks. And they win the Super Bowl
I'll
again.
bring it up early. If they do it again, ladies and gentlemen, I will be talking my talk. To keep it moving, we got the Las Vegas Raiders. I mean, I'm going under immediately. I don't even have to look at the number. It's over under 6.5 wins.
Ooh, wait. 6.5, though.
I'm liking it still. I mean, I know they got Tay Adams, but they were sitting at 6-11 last year.
That's what I'm saying. They could be a win better. And how you were glorifying Jimmy G over Derek Carr, how I was like, it's a lateral move. You think Jimmy G is that much better?
You might have just called me in a slip for sure. Yeah, I mean, thinking about it.
And if Josh Jacobs sits, that's the thing. We don't know
What are
about
we
Josh
do? What's
Jacobs.
Josh? Maybe that's why it's so low right now, because I mean, who knows? Maybe
we take the over?
Yeah,
maybe it
you
moves-
can convince me.
maybe
Maybe
it
it
moves
moves
to
up to
7.5.
7.5. Maybe when Josh Jacobs maybe gets a contract. We're not sure yet. Keep it moving. Chargers, sitting at 9.5 wins.
They have a tough schedule.
Yeah,
have
they
a very
must.
tough
After
schedule.
reading that, I would think that they'd be sitting at 10.5 wins easily. They were 10-7 last year. Their schedule's, I feel like, definitely hard.
They have a tough schedule. Oh my goodness, this schedule is hard. But we're talking about, I'm literally just gonna read you their schedule. Just Dolphins, Titans, Vikings, Raiders, Cowboys, Chiefs, Bears, Jets, Lions, Packers, Ravens, Patriots, Broncos, Raiders, Bills, Broncos, Chiefs. They gotta win 11 of those games.
Damn.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Justin Herbert's gonna have to be an MVP.
Oh my goodness.
He's gonna have to be MVP. Eckler's gonna have to be like offensive player of the year.
Let's sit it under and keep it rolling. We are on a good
That
roll
is
right now.
the hardest schedule I've seen.
We are sitting with the Los Angeles Rams at over under 6.5 wins. And that is that's a line that I'm confused about, because I just don't know.
People are so down on the Rams. I'm just like, they won the Super Bowl in 2021 and they had injuries.
They gave up everything to win that.
They did. I'm not gonna lie.
They literally threw a curse. They talked to a genie. They said, "Hey, if you give me this wish, I'll ask nothing more for 25
if you give
years."
me this wish, Cooper Kupp can get hurt next year.
Exactly. I
Which
think that
Cooper
that's
Kupp got
very
hurt.
sad.
So Cooper Kupp is gonna be back.
Do we think that they get 2 more wins?
They still get that. Only need 2 more wins. Matt Stafford's gonna be back.
All right.
Yeah.
Why not?
For sure.
Over 6.5 wins.
For
Keep
sure.
it rolling. Miami Dolphins is at split money right now, guys. Split money for over under 9.5 wins
It's rough.
at minus 110 both sides. I mean, it's really sad Jalen Ramsey's gone for half
That's gonna
of
hurt
the
them.
regular season. That is a hard line.
Yeah, but when they have their games, I'm sorry, Giants fans, you guys were a playoff team, but if we're really talking, I'm taking the Dolphins over here. When they play the teams, when they play the Giants, the Panthers, the Raiders, the Commanders.
Ooh, yeah.
Those are games they have to win.
They have to.
So,
but they could drop a couple. But
they split with their division.
Yeah, and of course,
maybe get an upset
the only
here and
thing
there.
that scares me too is something that I want to talk about real quick. Is that if Tua gets another concussion, that's 5 weeks. You're sitting at 4 to 5 weeks without him, 6 to 8 weeks without Jalen Ramsey. They're slipping all those games you just named.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So that's my only worry is
Mike
just
White.
injury wise. So you're gonna have to ride with me for the under here, just because I'm not confident in their way.
If he just takes that one,
it just takes that one hit, and that's not something you can have with a quarterback nowadays. Especially how aggressive Tua is. He's a dog. He wants to do all of it. It's gonna be hard to contain him, especially in terms of concussions. It's not like other body parts. Like other body parts, you can get them fixed real quick. It's crazy the medical doctors that they have nowadays. But concussions, that's something that nobody knows about, so they hold them off for a certain amount of time. That's it. So we're going to have to sit under. Minnesota Vikings, over under 8.5. Don't even want an argument. Over 8.5 wins at -134. I mean, if you watch quarterback, you should now love Kirk Cousins. That's all I have to say.
But also, if you watch the quarterback, you will see that the Vikings won 11 one-possession games. So those are 11 games that can go either way.
There are 11 games that could go either way. Yeah, they definitely struggled with finishing games out. I mean, if you watch the games, it wasn't like they were only up one possession the whole game. It was just that
they were letting teams come back into it, or they had to fight back.
It was the defense, and you're talking about a Patrick Peterson where he could only in the red zone. We had to play man, the Vikings had to play man in the red zone because Patrick Peterson couldn't keep up with people. You're talking about that was the best defensive player in the secondary.
You guys play the Eagles week 2 again. This time I think it's
I know.
I think it's Thursday Night Football
And it's
this time.
here.
Though.
It's in Philadelphia,
It's in Philly
ladies and
again.
gentlemen. To keep it
8
going,
and a half though to get 9 wins.
just stick with me here. Just stick with me.
AFC West, bro.
Stick with me here. I'm telling you, stick with me.
We're gonna have to trust, bro.
I had to trust in 2 years. Trust me there. We're sitting at 10 wins right there.
All right.
And then New England Patriots. This team is not good. Over under 7.5 wins, with the under being favorited at -142.
7.5 when they went 7-10 last year.
Yeah.
And this is a Bill Belichick team. Can't count on the Bill Belichick team. Dude, are they really worse from last year? Are they better from last year?
I saw some pictures of the QB, and he looking
Of
a
Macklin?
little. He looking a little okay.
Mac and
He
cheese?
looking a little okay.
Mac and cheese
he
looking
looks like
good?
he laid off the mac and cheese a little bit. Not even gonna
Shit,
lie.
he need to.
He lost the baby fat. That's what it was.
Got Ramondre Stevenson unlocked in that backfield.
I like him.
Could be a very, very good
Look at him in
offensive player.
fantasy, ladies and gentlemen, because that's a run first team. Honestly, 100%.
And he could catch the ball very well.
And he can catch. Yeah. Moving on. New Orleans
Wait,
Saints.
so are we over or under?
Over.
Oh yeah, all right, cool.
Yeah,
over.
yeah, yeah. We
All
said
right.
Bill Belichick.
Yeah.
Bill Belichick, he'll get it done, right?
Yeah.
Saints, over under 9.5. Under being many favorited. Kamara, how's he do?
Does he get suspended?
That's what I'm saying. I mean, I don't know. I don't know how I feel about that. I feel under.
I'm thinking under. I'm not a Derek Carr believer.
Yeah.
Haven't been, never was.
Yeah, I mean, I'm a reformed guy now. So we're going to have to go under.
I could see them getting 9 for what it's worth.
At
you know what I
most,
mean?
At most.
Because that's what I think it's going to be to win
For
that.
what it's worth,
That's
maybe.
Because I did say
At
earlier.
plus value money, I don't know.
I could see it being a team only needs 7 to win the NFC South, but it might be 9. You're definitively winning the NFC South. So.
Yeah, that really sucks. Moving on. New York Giants. I mean, this has been a slander of that team this year or this episode. So we got over under 7.5 wins. We're sitting
Over.
at. Yeah, I'm 100% with you. Over.
Over.
I think that division just absolutely is the best division in football right now. Yeah, moving on. I'm sorry. We did talk a lot of crap, but I will say
We did talk about trash, but we will give you guys your flowers.
Yeah. Over under. We're going over. We're sitting with the New York Jets with the new Aaron at 9.5. I mean, we talked about it before in our short.
Oh, they moved it?
What? Yeah, it's at 9.5 right now.
Oh, so it was at, what, 7.5?
I think so, yeah.
They moved it 2 wins.
Yeah. They're really moving it. And Garrett Wilson, will he do it? Will he be good? Will he snap this year? I think he does.
No way he doesn't.
I know. That's what I'm saying. That's all we have to talk about. And I will never doubt the mini goat, as I said earlier. I love over 9.5.
It's going to be a hard 10. It's going to be a very entertaining
difficult
10. You know, they play the AFC West and the NFC East. So, you know, that's games against the Cowboys, games against the Chiefs, games against the Chargers.
Hard games.
But they're going to be good games. So.
Yeah. They'll be fun games. They'll be close games. The Eagles at over under 11.5. Birds. I have it actually on here. How are we feeling with them? Over under 11.5.
They were what? 14 and 3? 13 and 4?
No. It was 14.
14 and 3. So and they were 11.5.
And I think they got better.
That's where I don't know if they got better.
Yeah, we can't do any more bet slips. So we got so long. We did 25 bet slips, and yeah, we keep it moving. Doesn't matter. Eagles over under 11.5. I'm going over.
Yeah, I'll give them. I'll give them the over.
I like it.
But I wouldn't be surprised.
I'm not going to say they're getting 14. I'm not saying they're getting 14 guys. Do not get me twisted. I'm thinking we're sitting at a smooth 12 to 13 wins this year.
They split with Washington last year. They didn't split with the Giants. They beat the Cowboys both times, right? Mm-hmm. I want to say. No, I think no. Cowboys beat them once. Cowboys beat them once. So
I don't know. Yeah, you're right.
The Cowboys did beat them once. I think they split with everybody in the division this year. I think the Giants do take one off of them this year.
I think it happens. So I don't know. I think we're still sitting at above 11.5.
But I can see every team in that division being like from 7 to 10. Maybe like 7, 8, 9, 10 wins each.
Yeah,
honestly,
easily. All right, moving on. Pittsburgh Steelers. We got the other PA team guys. Over under 8.5 wins with over sitting at minus 150.
Over sitting at minus for the most 8 and 9 team ever. Mm-hmm. Yeah, they're an 8 and 9 team.
Yeah, I agree. And this is a hard one. I mean, I can see them getting 9, but I'm gonna have to say under.
Because you just don't know what you're getting from that defense. You don't know what Kenny Pickett's going to be able to do this year. Can Najee bounce back?
I don't have any for sure's. I have no for sure's about that team. That's why I have to sit it under, guys. Moving on, let's keep it going. We got the San Francisco 49ers. They're sitting at over 10.5 wins. I love over at minus 142. I like that. I like that offense, man. And the defense always looks solid. I mean, we know Mike McGlinchey is gone and moved to the Broncos, but I mean, I don't know if that changes much.
DeMeco Ryan.
Yeah, that's true too. But I still look at that team and you look at CMC and Debo, and I mean, Debo looks like he's in the best shape of his life.
And CMC is going to be there all year.
CMC will be there all year. They've been working out together, doing their thing.
Looks amazing.
Ayuk is a sleeper. People really do not talk about that man that much. He has great route running abilities, and he's fast. And he gets there, and he's able to get touchdowns and yards after the catch, too.
Between Brock Purdy and Trey Lance, whichever one of them is healthy, whichever one can get there. Oh, my God, who said that Sam Darnold could be like Vince Young?
Oh, yes.
We saw that earlier today. Oh,
yeah,
my goodness.
that's not a thing. That is a thing that's being talked about on all these main media pages where they're trying to startle up all these new listeners and such. They said Sam Darnold could be the next Steve Young. And I'm sorry, but you are blasphemous if you actually believe in that opinion, or if you just want it for clicks, that's okay, because I mean, it worked. It got us thinking about it and got us talking about it, about how wrong you are and how you should probably be fired. All right.
Agreed. But we're going to take the over for that.
We're going to take the over 10.5. I like it. Seattle Seahawks sitting at over under 8.5 wins. Over, feeling pretty confident on FanDuel at minus 142. This is one where, do I feel like this could happen? Yes, I do. I mean, they were 9-8
last year.
See, that's such a good line
better.
again. Yeah,
I want to say they got better.
I think that they got better, so let's keep it rolling. I'm feeling over. I'm feeling over.
I like the over.
Keep it going. We're almost at the bottom, ladies and gentlemen. Bear with us.
Hang
I know
in
it's
there.
a lot, but this is for your guys' needs. We got the Tampa Bay Buccaneers sitting at over under 6.5 wins, with the under being at minus 142. I don't like the Bucs this year. I think they're in contention for Caleb Williams too, in my opinion.
Really?
Arizona and Bucs, in my opinion, and Commanders. Those are my 3 teams that I think will be in contention for them. 100%. So I feel under. How do you feel?
I mean, like, on your take real quick, I think the Commanders will just have to flat out decide they want to tank for that.
That's what
they
I'm
have
saying.
Too good of a team.
Well, that's what I'm saying. I think that they are. I think the Commanders should tank, in my opinion. Caleb Williams, in my opinion, early take looks like Patrick Mahomes.
He draws a lot of comparisons to him, so I mean, that's a great talent. But with the Bucs, again, that division down there, NFC South, they're gonna be playing the Panthers, the Falcons, and the Saints. Chris Godwin and Mike Evans are very talented wide receivers. Mike Evans has had his 1,000-yard season every single year. Chris Godwin has been a dog. He was hurt last year.
Yeah,
we did see Baker Mayfield, lead the Browns into the playoffs. So, I mean, to ask Baker Mayfield to be a competent enough QB to win the NFC South, I could see them getting 7 wins.
All right, that's on you. We're not agreeing on that one. So then we're going Tennessee Titans over under 7.5. It's a little wary of a line. Over sitting at minus 106. You're under sitting at minus 114. Confusing line, whatever. We're gonna have to be quick with this one. I'm going under. You're going over. Let's go. I just like I said, running backs, don't like them.
Titans?
Yeah.
Derrick Henry?
I'm just saying running backs in general, they don't win you anything.
I mean, yeah, but they have D-Hop and Traylon Burks, and their defense has been one of the top defenses for the past few years. I think they've gotten at least 7 wins the past couple years.
It would be a sneak into the playoffs. I'll put you that way.
I mean, no, I'm not saying I'm not talking about playoffs, but hey.
7.5. We'll see.
8 wins.
8 wins is possible. I still see
I don't think 8 wins.
6 or 7.
I don't think 8 wins gets you into the playoffs in the AFC. So
yeah, probably not. Sitting with the next one, the last, but certainly not the least. Actually, their stadium's probably the least. The Washington Commanders sitting at 6.5 over under being a little bit tiny more favorited. Like I said, I think they're tanking, so I'm going under. I think first year in, tank. Magic Johnson's like, give me the superstar. I think that's what it's going to be like, him and Josh Harris.
6-11, all right.
Yeah, that's how I'm feeling. That concludes all of these bets or clicks or plays, whatever you want to say. And that's how we're feeling about the season. The season is almost there. Super, super excited about this. I mean, we're only a couple of days into training camp, but I feel like I'm mid-season already. Mid-season form is already there. And to finish off this podcast, me and Jerem are going on a little adventure. We're going to be doing On the Road with OJ in about 3 weeks. We'll be traveling with another content creation team, which they're called Enterprise Sports. Enterprise with a Z. You can check them out on Instagram and on TikTok. We are going to be running with them, going to all these cool colleges around the South. We'll be in the West, in Arizona, and also in California. And we're going to go to these colleges. We're going to go around to the tailgates. We're going to go to the games. We're also still going to be going live with you guys and doing all the podcasts on the road. So do not be scared. We're not leaving. We're just going on a little 4-month hiatus away from Philadelphia, which sometimes people need that. So thank you guys so much. Check that out and keep tuning in and get your notifications on for us and see where we travel to next. Drop a like, comment, subscribe, and thank you so much for watching Having Juice with OJ.
know.